Whether you bond over streaming binge-worthy videos, watching sports recaps, video gaming, or by unplugging altogether, the 2026 Lincoln Nautilus Hybrid helps keep you connected throughout your journey. Learn more at Lincoln.com. Available connectivity features and functionality vary by model. Package pricing, trials, and term lengths vary by model. Video streaming and games are only available while parked.
So you used the bamboo stick as a step, and now he's standing at the top of the tree pruning it. Oh my gosh. Wow. The guy's just up there like wafting back and forth in the breeze.
I'm watching a team of men prune a tree. But this isn't just any team, and it's not just any tree. I'm in Kyoto, Japan, watching gardeners hand prune cypress trees while standing atop bamboo poles suspended high in the branches. And I'm watching from the comfort of a hotel room I never want to leave.
The whole concept for Hotel the Mitsui is rooted in the idea of a journey.
I'm Aislyn Greene, and this is Unpacked by Afar. And in this episode, we're journeying into the Hotel the Mitsui, which has been transformed into one of Kyoto's most luxurious and most historic hotels. And it all starts with a gate.
I felt that there is an opportunity to create that sense of journey as you go through the gate, and I really want to celebrate that as a point of arrival, that feeling that you're going into a place that has stood the test of time, and there is a connection between the past and the present.
That is Andre Fu, the Hong Kong-based interior architect whose voice you heard at the top of the episode. In the hotel world, and really in the travel world, he's a bit of a design celebrity. So I called Andre after my visit to talk about the history of the Mitsui and his vision for the guest rooms, as well as the entire entry experience, including that gate, which we'll get to after a little lowdown on one of Japan's biggest dynasties.
Our hotels proudly stand on the ground of the former Aburano Koji residence. It's the Kyoto home of the Mitsui family, which is one of the biggest family in Japan. And the Mitsui family maintained this estate for over 250 years.
Wow. That is my new friend Megumi. She's one of Mitsui's ambassadors, and we're standing in the lobby, and she's wearing this beautiful kimono. And that kimono is also a nod to the Mitsui family and to Kyoto's history as a textile and kimono hub. Does your kimono, does it have a story?
Actually, Mitsui family started their business by selling kimono at first.
At the height of their power between the First and Second World Wars, the Mitsui family had more than 250 businesses. But after World War II, occupation forces split the group and dissolved the holding company. Today, however, Mitsui has regrouped and is now made up of dozens of multinational companies with ties to banking, trading, coal production, and more. And while the family has no current connections to the hotel, the Mitsui has preserved some of the family's most interesting history.
And so we'll still keep using some of the remains from Mitsui family's residence. And our biggest remains is that one, our gate.
It's beautiful.
That gate has name. The name is called Kajimiya Gate.
Okay.
It was made in 1703. It means around 300 years ago.
Wow. And it's still standing.
Still standing,
That's
yes.
Amazing. Hotel the Mitsui is really centrally located. It's right across from the Nijo Castle, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, so obviously a huge draw. But the hotel feels surprisingly peaceful and hidden away from the bustle of the city. And this sense of peacefulness descends the moment you walk through the Kajimiya Gate. It has this gently sloped clay tile roof. It kind of looks like a historic treasure you'd see outside of a Japanese shrine, but it honestly does not look any one of its 300 years. And that's because before the hotel opened in 2020, the gate was painstakingly restored. Artisans in the Fukui prefecture did the work, and they were able to preserve 80% of the original gate. They also preserved a very small but very powerful architectural detail.
This wood tag is called Munafuda. We found it inside their gate when we were reconstructing it.
Megumi and I are looking at a small piece of wood with a Buddhist symbol on it. And she tells me that this piece of wood, this murahura, was added to the gate as a kind of lucky charm all the way back in 1703.
And when you see the corner, you can notice that it's humanly cut it off. In Japan, we think that if we make 100% perfectly, then next step is breaking up. So to make a gap.
Okay. So the flaw is intention.
To wish that the gate and also the family which owns the gate can last forever.
Wow.
They trim the corner to make it imperfect.
So it's kind of a blessing, a protection.
Yes.
Yeah.
When they restored the gate, artisans added a new munahura.
So there's still lucky charm in it.
300 more years.
Megumi and I pass through the gate and into the check-in area. It's this intimate, low-ceilinged place with a gorgeous stone floor and a large orange sculpture that look like origami waves set in a bed of sand.
This is called the Wind, and this art is made by the guy called Yukiya Izumita. He's from the Iwate prefecture, and it looks like made by wood, but actually these are all ceramics.
The ceramic sculpture is made from a red clay that's found in Yukiya's birthplace in the Iwata prefecture. You have to walk around the sculpture to get to the hotel spaces beyond it, and it's so striking that I have to ask Andre what it represents.
I think what's interesting about this ceramic piece is it's set in finely raked sand, and it evokes antiquity and modernity. You know, it's fragile, but it has strength. It is vulnerable, but it's resilience, and I guess that sort of communicates that mystical feeling that I get when I am physically in Kyoto.
There is something kind of mystical about passing through the check-in area and into the large lobby beyond, which opens up to this sprawling, organic, but very sculptured garden. And it's all part of Andre's carefully crafted arrival journey.
As you enter into the hotel, we have deliberately compressed the ceiling. And as you progress along from that check-in area into the main lobby, where the ceiling height doubles up, and in the ceiling we've created this installation that's reminiscent of a flowing kimono fabric.
Remember that the Mitsui family's original business was kimonos.
So we wanted to create this installation kind of replicating the silhouette of this piece of kimono that starts to lift up and unveil this beautiful garden that we have created within the courtyard of the hotel.
On this warm October day, the floor-to-ceiling windows are open, so there is no barrier between inside and out.
This design came from the one theme, which we used from the 1,000 years ago.
Oh, cool.
Called Te Oku Ichinyo.
What does that mean?
He tried to harmonize inside and outside.
Ah, yes.
So he made that big window can be open. Mm-hmm. And also he didn't use a lot of light so that a lot of sunlight can come in through from the big gate window.
And now we're out looking at these gorgeous, very calm pools with like little pockets of light. We're seeing more maple trees. I'm sure they all have a story.
Yeah.
All 160 rooms wrap around this internal courtyard, and it does indeed have a story. There are maples that are just starting to turn red and orange, and green-needled cypress trees, and there's a single cherry tree.
And also, right about here, there's the biggest symbol tree of this garden. This is a weeping cherry blossom. It's springtime, it blooms perfectly, and it blooms around like the middle of April.
And is this the only cherry tree in the garden?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that must be very striking. Then you have all the green and then this like pop of pink or That's so cool.
The garden has two themes.
This part is the modern style. The other side is a traditional style. So there's a lot of natural curves there. So many straight lines in here. You can see it.
I mean, you can just see too kind of where the greenery ends, and then we're in a more structured line. Yes. And you can see all the lines and the lights across the way. That's really cool. Yeah.
Andre later tells me he worked very closely with Shunsaku Miyagi, the landscape designer.
He's a master of Japanese landscape, and he has a strong belief in more like, you know, the purity, the wabi-sabi of Japanese landscaping, and especially in the context of Kyoto.
And Andre wanted the entire hotel to incorporate some aspect of a garden view.
My goal is when you look from different perspective, even though it's the same courtyard garden, it actually evokes different scenography.
To do that, he also encouraged Shinsaku to incorporate a way to move across the garden.
And one of the main things that I did is I persuaded him to create this footpath that is on the water. And it connects a small door from our little tea room. And there's this path that you almost felt as if you're walking on the water. And it connects to the all-day dining restaurant at the other end of the courtyard. So it's about creating these interesting vignettes, moments within the space. And I guess that level of visual connectivity creates more layers in the experience. And I guess that's what's been interesting for the guests, because they start to discover different places within the hotel that constantly surprises them.
The next day, my partner and I are surprised by our very first tea ceremony with none other than Megumi.
Have you ever tried a tea ceremony before?
No.
First time?
First time.
Oh, thank you. So usually at tea ceremony, we serve you sweets first, and you eat sweets, then drink matcha.
We're sitting in the tea ceremony alcove just off the lobby. Megumi explains that matcha can be quite bitter, so that's why you get a little sweet with it.
The sweet inside is red bean paste and covered with a soft sweet potato paste.
First, we have to pick a tea bowl. I go with a black bowl with swoops of gold paint, and Jeannie picks a blue and green ceramic one. And while the tea ceremony is usually performed in silence, Megumi says she's willing to talk us through it this time because there's a lot of cool history. Like, for example, most people picture tea ceremonies being led by kimono-wearing women like Megumi, but
It used to be a man's culture. It came to Japan as medicine at first, and it's drunk by monk. Because in matcha, there's this caffeine in it, so it then let them keep waking up so they can pray for a long time.
from there it was adopted by samurai soldiers.
It was placed for them to show their rare tools which they have to show their power to each other, and also there is like a game to drink the matcha and guess which part of the matcha are they from to compete their knowledge.
And then it evolved into what it has become today.
And then one guy started to say that we need to show more respect and don't show off to others. Be humble, and then it slightly changed to this. The tea ceremony for meditations, for to be healthy. Also, it was used as a place for them to have a secret conversation with each other, to do with really important decisions.
Megumi starts the ritual, telling us that it still retains some of its samurai roots.
So before we start making matcha, we need to purify all the tools, because there is danger that some of the samurai poison other samurai. So we need to show that there's no dangers, it's all safe and it's all clean before we start making it. お手前始めさせていただきます。
As she wipes down the tools with a special cloth called a fukusa, she explains that there are different schools for learning tea ceremonies.
And the fukusa's color is different by the school which we learned from. And how to make it, and also the shape of this whisk is a little bit different too. Our whisk is straight one, so it tastes more mild, and ours less bubbles, so you can taste, and the more straight matcha tastes about it.
We sit quietly while Megumi prepares our tea. We watch her precise choreographed movements as she ladles in water and briskly whisks the tea. Then she explains how to hold the bowl.
This is quite hot here, and this part won't get hot, so please hold the bottom part by your left hand and support by your right hand like this, and zip it. When you pick up, please twist 2 times a little bit clockwise, a little bit, and then drink it, please. And after you finish drinking everything, twist back and enjoy the table at last.
Here we go. Like this?
Like that, yes.
Like supporting, and then I twist.
And twist to turn a little bit.
Times, like that?
Yes, perfect. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you. Arigato gozaimasu.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
That smells amazing. Wow. It's not bitter at all.
Oh,
yeah, wow, that's so good.
After the tea ceremony, we return to our room.
Outside the third floor. Doors are opening.
And even this walk from the elevator to our room feels special, like it's part of the visual journey that Andre has created.
Every perspective as you get out of the lift, what you see, and then you turn, and even the carpet in the guest room corridor, it's a carpet obviously, but there's a subtle meandering pattern that starts to almost look like it's dancing. I mean, some people read it as ripples, some people read it as a Zen garden.
And right outside the door to every room is a small shoji lantern on a pedestal.
And I think that does give every room a feeling of entering into a small Japanese house, or the entrance of a tea room, for example. So again, it's bringing a feeling of intimacy and evoking local culture.
Our room is on the third floor and faces the gardens, where the gardeners are out tending to the trees. And that's the word that comes to mind as I look around. The room feels so thoughtfully designed, like someone tended to every need that could arise. For example, when you walk in, there's a little bench with a shoehorn built into it where you can sit down and quickly and comfortably remove your shoes, then tuck them into the bench below. It feels so fine-tuned, and this all plays into the feeling Andre wanted to evoke.
It's that sense of serenity that we want to infuse into the property. And on that note, there is a lot of bespoke furniture pieces. We've put in a lot of shoji lanterns just to create that feeling of serenity. And again, it's all very simply done, but in terms of detailing, there was a lot of labor in terms of refining and defining how elements interlock.
Everywhere you look, there's another thoughtful touch. Andre worked with dozens of Japanese artisans to outfit the rooms, from the soaking tub with a bench where you can sit down and bathe, to the minibar stocked with handmade ceramic mugs. And then there are the aesthetic layers, which again nod gently to history.
For the wall panels above the beds, they are specially woven textiles by a kimono designer called Jotaro Saito. So he actually comes from a family of Kyoto kimono dryers, and he has a very innovative approach to the designs of kimonos.
Andre says that usually kimonos are a certain width because of how they need to wrap around the body.
In our case, because we wanted the pattern to be continuous, it's almost like a brush of paint that spans the width of the bed, basically.
This might sound like a relatively simple change, but in Japan, where crafts like kimono making have been protected and perfected for generations, pushing these boundaries has to be a conversation with each artisan.
For him, it was challenging because it's also about how different panels of fabric connect together and how it conveys the feeling of movement within that brush. And what could be for me or someone like yourself from a foreigner's perspective, makes perfect sense. Maybe for someone that is from the city or from that specific practice of kimono, fabrication is totally unusual or not authentic.
But at the end of the day, it was Andre's fresh perspective on some of this history and tradition that the hotel wanted to introduce.
I think there is a strong purpose to the narrative of the hotel, which is about celebrating Japanese beauty. And to be honest, me as a non-Japanese person to be interested with this very important commission, it was a little bit nerve-wracking at the beginning, but equally what I find interesting is they have allowed me this window of immersing myself in trying to define a way to tell that Kyoto story that is familiar, yet perhaps a little bit unfamiliar.
There are so many other experiences to explore at the hotel. There's Toki, the restaurant helmed by Tetsuya Asano, where the Paris-trained chef highlights Kyoto's legendary water in his dashi stock, among many other delights. Then there's the shikinoma, or private tea room, that opens up onto the garden where I took a breathwork class. And then there's the spa where guests can bathe in a thermal spring or their own private onsen, or try a treatment inspired by traditional anma massage. And there's the backdrop of the city itself, which is a character in its own right. And as Jeannie and I exit through the gate on our way to the next part of our journey, I remember something that Megumi had shared with me.
She said that the idea is that when you walk in, you feel the history, but when you leave, you feel refreshed. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
All these months later, and I still feel refreshed when I think about our couple of days at Hotel the Mitsui. If you too want to experience some Kyoto refreshment, we've included a link to the hotel's website and social handles in the show notes, and a very special thank you to Megumi and to Miho, who helped arrange everything you just heard. This was our last episode of Unpacked until fall 2025, but keep an eye out for mini episodes and other bonus content we'll be rolling out while we work on the second half of our 2025 season. We'll see you then. Ready for more unpacking? Visit afar.com and be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We're at Afar Media. If you enjoyed today's exploration, I hope you'll come back for more great stories. Subscribing always makes that easy, and be sure to rate and review the show on your favorite podcast platforms. It helps other travelers find it. And if you want to ask a question or suggest a topic for coverage, you can leave us a voicemail at the link in the show notes, or email us at unpackedafar.com. This has been Unpacked, a production of Afar Media. The podcast is produced by Aislyn Greene and Nikki Galteland. Music composition by Chris Cullen. And remember, the travel world is complicated. We're here to help you unpack it.